Welcome to Shadows of Dawn. Welcome.
Welcome, my friends. We are here to do another quick tutorial on D&D Beyond. So this one is pretty highly requested, actually. This tutorial is for short rest, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in hit point modification as well, because those are two things that a lot of people in D&D Beyond, a lot of players struggle with. D&D Beyond, if you're watching, this is a couple of things you could probably fix for us, and that would be great. All right, let me just kind of lower the music there just a little bit. Take a little bit of that echo off. There we go. All right, so first things first. We got my my little guy here, Razzle, and Razzle's kind of wounded. He's got only 15 hit points left out of his max 44. So his group's going to take a short rest. So pretty simple. Click on the short rest. And when you want to go and roll your hit dice, you just kind of click on how many hit dice you want to roll. Now here's the big catch. This little box right here that lights up. You gotta click this box. D&D Beyond, from a usability standpoint, this one is really kind of busted. You need to just link the dice rolls with the short rest button. But it doesn't work like that. So players, once you click how many hit dice you're going to roll for a short rest, you gotta click this button. When you click this button, it throws your dice, and then you can see it automatically takes your total and automatically adjusts your hit points. Now you can just click on the short rest button and confirm, and that resets everything else, all your abilities or spells or whatever might be linked to your character. It's clicking on that button that's the key. And here, I'll show you why. Because if I were to do it again, since I haven't taken a long rest, these are still here, right? But say I click 1, I click 2. If I just click the take short rest button, no dice are thrown, nothing changes to my hit points, and it still tosses that up there. So you have to make sure you click that button there in order to get the short rest that you were looking for. So D&D Beyond, that's a fixer. You got to fix that. But for all the players, this will end your frustration if you watch this. You got to click the dice throwing button. Okay. So that's short rest. That's in a nutshell. And that's kind of a pain point. The other thing I'm going to show you is, let's say Razzle's got 20 hit points left. And let's say somebody casts like Aid spell. So adjusting your maximum hit points. The nice thing that D&D Beyond does do, this is a big help, is you have the difference between override max HP and max HP modifier. So Aid is a modifier. It increases your max hit points, and let's just say it increases it by 15. So all you got to do is click this little guy up to 15. The nice thing about this is when you're done, it automatically gives you the 15 points of healing and adjusts your max hit points. So this is a way to show that what you gain from Aid is also giving you that bonus health. That is very different than using override max HP. Override max HP is for if you have a condition that maybe, I don't know, sets your hit points at a certain level. Because max hit point modifier can also be used in the inverse, right? So let's say I'm hit with like a draining attack. It does 5 points of damage, but my max HP is also lowered by 5. Well, in that case, I can go in the negative, and instead of having 44, it now gives me 39. But the nice thing is it kept my hit points, as long as they were below, the same, right? So if I took 5 points of damage, or in this case, if I took 5 points of damage and I was at full health, then I would go to 39, but then my max hit points would also be drained by 5. So max hit point modifier is probably what you're going to use the most. Max override is setting a number, right? So the thing with max override you got to remember, and here's the frustrating part, is let's say for whatever reason my max override is 40, right? So now it's just going to set my hit points at 40, no matter what I do, right? Well, I may have a modifier, and then I may be able to modify here as well. Getting rid of this, there's a lot of people, what they do is they hit 0, and that doesn't work. You actually have to go in here and hit backspace, and you have to delete it. By deleting the number, it'll set it back to your original number, right? So remember, don't use a 0, delete. Here, using 0 is fine because you're not modifying anything by the hit points. It's the modifier is 0, and that's fine. But max override, you got to delete it out in order to reset your values. Temporary hit points, that's pretty easy. You throw those in there, they show up. The other way you can add these things is just by clicking here. For temporary hit points, most people will do this, and they go away when you apply damage, no matter what damage you have. So that's it. That's short rest, and that's modifying your maximum hit points in a couple of different ways. Thanks for being with us. This is Shadows of Dawn D&D tutorial, D&D Beyond tutorial, and we'll see you next time.